Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Love and Lore podcast, the podcast where we spread love through sharing our stories and life lore. In this episode, we're going to be talking about something really interesting, and I'm joined with another special guest.
Hi, guys.
That's Danielle. And just a bit of background on us. We can talk about how we met and everything because it's really interesting. We've known each other since elementary school.
Yes, end of grade 6, right? We were in the same class.
We were in the same class.
Mrs. Fork.
Miss
Fort?
Fort.
Oh, her.
Shout out to Miss Fort. She was my favorite teacher.
I had her for like 3 months, but yeah, she was amazing.
No, she was really, really amazing. Yeah. Remember our classroom was like a dinner setup?
Oh my god. Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, we spent grade 7 together as well.
She accepted me when my accent was really, really thick, guys. So like,
girl,
shout out to her.
No,
that
like
was,
she
oh
was
my
a
god.
Filipino. Like we had to, we stick together, so it's okay. And by the way, guys, we're actually girlfriends.
We are.
We've been dating since grade
like 9 years now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you remember how we became girlfriends?
No, I don't. Do you?
No. Oh. I think it just kind of happened.
Yeah, I have no idea how it happened, but here we are, girlfriends for life.
Girlfriends for life. In this episode, we're going to be talking about attachment styles. And honestly, I've never been in a relationship before, so I think this topic is so interesting. And even if you're not in a relationship, this topic is important.
Just every single relationship and friendship that you have in your life.
Your attachment styles and how you were raised plays a role in that. And another fun fact, a bit of more lore, this is actually our second time recording this.
Yeah. Yeah, guys.
Yeah, what happened to the first one? What can you say?
Oh, yeah. We actually weren't very educated in the first one. So we were like, okay.
We didn't do enough research.
Yeah.
And we actually did like a little attachment style quiz, and then it just didn't line up. And then So I will just talk about what I have researched first. And honestly, since I study psychology, I got to know a little bit of information about this already. So basically, your attachment style, it comes from a lot of parental influence and how you grew up. There's a study called The Strange Situation. I don't know if any of y'all heard this before. It was done by a researcher named Mary Ainsworth in the 1970s, so a long, long time ago. And basically what they did was they tested attachment styles with infants, so literal like 1-year-olds and their moms. They got the mom to go in and out of the room with the infant in the room. The point was to see how the babies reacted when the mom left and entered the room. And from this way, different attachment styles were born.
Oh,
do you know about this?
I feel like I've heard about that. I don't know if you told me about this last time or if I saw it on TikTok.
I think I did talk about it. I just had no idea what I was saying.
So I was like, wait, I remember hearing about this somewhere, but I'm like, who told me? Like, who was it that said it?
Basically, what happened is 4 attachment styles came out of this. It was secure, avoidant, ambivalent / resistant, and then disorganized. So for secure attachment, this is when the child feels really safe with the mom. And basically, whenever the caregiver returns, the child feels safe. Okay? Avoidant is when the avoidant basically means the child ignores the mom, doesn't really care, doesn't seek much comfort from her. And then the ambivalent resistant, the child is really clingy and it's very upset when the mom leaves. But it's also... So
that's kind of like the anxious one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. But then also, though, it's really interesting because the kid also is angry at the mom too because the mom leaves and stuff. So it's very like, I don't know, it's ambivalent, right? And then disorganized is when the child shows confusing and contradictory behaviors. It runs to the caregiver, but then freezes and shows fear. So very confusing, very contradictory, very disorganized. This is basically the gist of it. I don't know if I said it right, but yeah. Long story short, they did a study on 1-year-olds and 4 attachment styles were born. And I think there's been more ever since. There's like
I think it's more like they kind of micro-labeled, certain things, because I think there's like different kind of avoidant and there's different kind of everything. So
it's like a big tree of things.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of my knowledge on it from what I've researched and what I've studied in school. How about for you? What do you know about it?
Oh, all I know are things I've seen on TikTok. Like, I know TikTok knowledge, but I feel like that's pretty straightforward. All the things that you've listed out.
I guess the biggest takeaway here is that a lot of it comes from your younger years. It really makes a difference.
Yes.
So my first question for you is, what is your attachment style and how did you figure it out?
Okay, guys. So before I thought my attachment style was disorganized. just based on like I said, TikTok knowledge. Like I'm like, okay, wait, I kind of relate to that whenever I would see things about it, right? And then Sophie and I, our first time recording this, we took like a little test, a little quiz, and I think I got fearful avoidance.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then when I researched them a little bit, they were pretty much similar. And then when I was talking to my friend about it, she was like, girl, yeah. And she's very knowledgeable on like all of these attachment styles, so I believe her. And you know, she sorry, this off topic, but she diagnosed me when I had appendicitis.
No way.
Yeah, I was just telling her how like my stomach was hurting, and I was like, it started from this area to here, and it started to spread. And she was like, oh yeah, my family friend had that. And I was like, oh. And then that's like within a couple hours I was at the hospital, and then later that day I had surgery to get my appendix removed.
Gosh. That's so painful. That's my biggest fear.
Really?
My appendix rupturing.
Yeah.
I cannot. So she basically saved your life in a way.
She did.
Yeah.
She did.
Shout
I owe her my life.
Literally.
Shout out to Mimi.
Yeah, so she can diagnose you with your attachment style and anything physical health related.
Yeah, guys,
so,
I trust her.
Period. So you first learned about them through TikTok, and it wasn't even that long ago, right?
Yes, it was pretty recent. Like, honestly, the more you learn a lot on TikTok, guys.
You do. Don't underestimate TikTok.
Yeah.
Honestly, same for me. Like, I've heard about attachment styles, but it wasn't until TikTok where it's like, when I really got to know about it. Yeah. So I want to talk about parental influence because that's really important.
Oh, yes.
You discussed that your parents have a lot to do with it. So growing up in the Philippines, because you lived there for a long time before coming here. Yeah. So what has...
a little more than half of my life.
Yeah. So what has been your background with your parents and how they've shaped your or your attachment style?
You know what? I feel like with my mom, I don't really see any connection unless there is, and I just don't know about it. But one thing I know about fearful avoidant is it has a lot to do with lack of trust. And I feel like with my dad, yeah, guys, I have daddy issues. Go cry about it. But I feel like, how do I say this without like trauma dumping on here? I feel like there were a lot of things that happened in my childhood when it came to my dad that kind of just ruined my trust, or like gave me really, really bad trust issues when it comes to just people in my life, like close people in my life, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's the main thing, and it kind of just manifested into my today life and to my relationships now. I always knew I had a little bit of trust issues, but I didn't know that it had anything to do with my attachment to people at all until recently.
Do you know if growing up your parents were also raised in a similar way? If you're open to answering that?
You know what? I feel like with my dad and his parents were, my grandparents on my dad's side, they are, like, especially my grandpa, he's such a good person. And I don't know, guys, my dad is not a good person, so I don't know how that kind of, I don't know how he came out to be. Okay. So, but my grandma, she's a feisty one, but I feel like she did her best.
So that's on your dad's side?
Yeah, that's on my dad's side.
It's so interesting how he's so different from
he's so different. Like, my grandpa, he's such a sweet man. Like, he was always caring, and he was on top of it. He's like a protector and like a provider, and he just took care of everything in the house. And like, my dad is like the opposite. He's like, he's a bum. Sorry, not sorry. And then my grandma, she's like a hard worker and stuff. So I don't really know too much about how their relationship is, just because, you know, growing up in a Filipino household, like, you don't really, like, everything gets swept under the rug. Like, so it's like no one really talks about things like that. And oh my God, this is kind of off topic, but growing up, like, whenever I would watch movies and see people like talk to their families, like, oh, you know, like, you did so good today. Like, if you have something you want to tell me, like, you can talk to me about it. I was like, damn, that just happens in movies. I didn't know that happened in real life until I met my friends and my boyfriend, and I'm like, damn, guys, that is real life. Like, but yeah.
Honestly, I can kind of relate to that in a way. Like, I don't have a horrible relationship with my family, no, but I do understand, like, in the Philippines, especially because teleseries are very... there's a lot of family life, and they all look really happy and put together. And it's just not realistic.
It's not. And like you growing up, it's just like, damn, like I didn't know that actually happened in real life.
I know that there's like something wrong with my family. Like I see that in my life too. Like it's not up to par with the standards on television, and that kind of it kind of made me think. Also, even on like things like YouTube family channels and all this stuff, it's just not the same. Oh my
god, like we wouldn't be talking like this, you know what I mean? In a Filipino household, we wouldn't be like sitting here talking about attachment styles, trust issues. No, we don't do that.
I feel like just television stuff is very unrealistic. So no, I see where you're coming from. How about on your mom's side?
My mom's side, I actually don't know too much about her dad because he passed away like 30 years ago, so it was way before I was born. But I know that he was caring and he loved them. My grandma, she wasn't very present. Like she lived there, but like she wasn't very present in their lives. So I don't know too much about it because like I said, we don't really talk about like personal stuff like that. I feel like a lot of Filipino families or like kids or whatever, they're always like, they're very respectful to their parents and they just like always try to not be problematic when it comes to like talking about their parents. So I'm not sure, but I just know that my grandma wasn't very present.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I can't speak on your parents' behalf or anything, but do you think all of that played a role in how they raised you? In a way?
For sure. I feel like that's how it is with everybody. It's like what your parents are because they're who raised you. They're the ones that raised you, right? So it's like you see how they are, and as like a young impressionable child, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, that's the norm. But yeah, I don't know what happened to my dad though, girl.
Do you see yourself in them?
Yes. Oh my god. The one thing that I feel like I got from my dad is the anger. And I hope that's the only thing I'll ever get from him. And then my mom is a Pisces, I'm a Pisces, so I'm like, damn girl, I'm you, you're me. Even when we argue, I'm like, girl, we are the same people. Yeah, I feel like a lot of Pisces, like we kind of victimize ourselves a little bit, and I see that in her, and I'm like, sometimes when I'm self-reflecting, I'm like, shit, was I doing that too? Like but yeah, I love her though.
I'm gonna jump into my attachment style because I also want to dive into this because I think we're very different. Our attachment styles,
it's like two opposites.
It's very, very opposite, which makes it so interesting. So I know that you have had relationships in the past and you are also in a relationship right now. Me, on the other hand, I've never had a relationship, so I've never really thought about my attachment style that much, nor did I ever pay attention to it or observed myself in that way when I treat other people, or I don't know. But going off of experience and from what I've learned, I personally believe I have an avoidant attachment style. I've noticed that whenever I don't know, like, shoot, I should have done more research on this. When it comes to specifically like men or boys that have manifested in my life, I feel like I'm just very don't touch me kind of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I do have crushes and I am very delusional, but when they get too close, it's like I can't. It's like I get so icked out.
Really?
Yeah, and I have no idea why. But again, I've never been in a relationship, so I've never thought about it that much. But yeah, I think that's what I am. Growing up though, like my parents, we didn't have any issues. Like if anything, I've never had like a full-on blown like teenage girl argument with my parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like I'm just not that type of person. I
feel like you've been good. You've been really good.
Yeah, I feel like it's a blessing and a curse because it's so important to have arguments with your loved ones. It's so important to know what ticks each other off. And I don't know, I feel like I've just been too scared or avoidant to ever argue with my parents because I don't like confrontation. And I feel like that reflects in why I'm avoidant, I guess. Like, I don't want to get into anything. Even in my friendships.
You don't want the complication of it all.
I don't, yeah. And I think that's manifested into my relationships with my friends, too, because I don't want to be involved in any drama. In high school, I've never wanted to dive into that world, but also it's so important to have arguments with your friends. It's important to have conflicts because that's what makes a relationship stronger, and that's what makes it healthy. And I feel like I've just lacked that in my life. Like there's just an empty space there where I should have had some sort of plot.
But it's not something you wanted, right?
Yeah, not something I wanted. And I feel like a lot of my friends have other friends that they're very much more kind of closer with because they're comfortable with arguing with each other. But for me, I've never wanted that. And I feel like it affects my relationships in that way. And I don't know if that has anything to do with being avoidant, but I guess in a way I avoid arguments, I avoid conflicts. But honestly, I have no clue what the deeper meaning behind that is. Yeah, so from what I have here, it's avoidant. It's like you're uncomfortable with being vulnerable, expressing yourself, minimizing your needs, self-reliance in stressful times. I feel like that is very me. Also, I forgot to say I'm a very independent person, and I guess that also ties into that. But yeah, that is kind of some lore into my life.
Period.
Yeah. So, and yeah, so going back to you, I'm gonna dive into your relationships, romantic and not romantic. So how your attachment style manifests in your current relationships. So let's just start with your romantic relationship right now.
Okay.
So do you see your attachment style in it, and does your boyfriend know about it, and how do you guys navigate that?
Okay. You know what, guys? I feel like my relationship right now and my last relationship from like 5 years ago, I feel like I was very different. Like my attachment style was very different. I'm sure it was like, there, but it was very different. I feel like my last relationship, I was more anxious because I was so young and stupid and like, but my current relationship, oh my god, I was talking to my friend about this. So my attachment is fearful avoidance. And when my boyfriend and I first started dating, I feel like this is very fearful avoidance as per my friend, but this is very fearful avoidant. When we first started dating, we started talking in February, and then he would ask me to be his girlfriend over and over and over again, and I kept saying no. And I think I didn't say yes until like September. So like 7-8 months into it. Yeah, 7-8 months. And yeah, I feel like that's very fearful avoidant. And there were a lot of things that happened at the very beginning of our relationship too that kind of affected the trust that we were building. Just because we weren't serious, we were young and like whatever. That's one thing. And then another thing is, I think I was telling you about the push and pull effect last time. So whenever he would push and, give me all that affection, I'm just like, wait, like I'm loving this, so let me pull away more. So like I'm given that validation that I'm like, wait, okay, he loves me, but let me pull away more just so he's able to push more. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the best way I can describe how it was. Even now, I feel like maybe it's not to that extent of how it was at the very beginning of our relationship, but yeah.
You brought up your previous relationship, and I was just curious, like, if that influenced the reason why you waited that long.
Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, a little bit. Because I feel like my ex was cheating on me and I just never knew about it. There were signs.
Oh, no.
There were signs, okay? Anyways, but I feel like my current relationship now, guys, don't judge me, don't attack me, but before we were officially dating, he cheated on me with his girl best friend, and then like he told me about it the day after, and then a few weeks later I cheated back, and I didn't tell him until like maybe a few months in. But I feel like that affected the trust that we were building in the relationship. And also, I feel like me cheating back is so fearful avoidant because I was trying to get level. I was trying to be like, you know what? F you. Like, if you think you're gonna do that, let me do that too.
That was the motive?
Yeah. And it was just like very toxic and very not good. Don't do that, guys.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah.
You're welcome. I love trauma dumping.
That's her lore, guys. Her lore.
That was my love and lore.
That was her love and lore. Yeah. So yes, I do see how your attachment style manifested there.
Yes.
And yeah, starting off like just really rough like that, how did you guys overcome it?
You know what? It's because our connection at the very beginning, like we were friends with benefits at the very beginning, so it was like we knew we liked each other. He was sweet, I was sweet, like, you know. I feel like at first we didn't care as much, so we were like, oh, like it's not like we're official, like we don't know if there's gonna be a future in this anyway, so it's like, girl, do your thing. And then over time we were just like, wait, I feel like you're my person and I see this going somewhere. And when I first realized that, I was like, okay, that was before we were even, you know, a thing. We were even like a serious thing. So I just didn't think too much of it. And then I feel like I didn't start getting mad about it until like later into the relationship, because I was like, wait, that was really messed up.
Yeah.
And that was, you know what, I feel like I didn't do wrong, but but I was just retaliating, guys, so I don't think I did anything wrong. And then just over time we built trust, and it was just like, you know what, that was in the past, it wasn't anything serious. Now I have you, you have me, and we're like 4.5 years later, and we're going strong.
And I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm kind of cheating on you, but it's okay. You're my number one.
Yeah,
You're
we've been together longer. What the heck? Yeah. It's okay. It's fine. Yeah, so first of all, yeah, I'm very happy for you guys that you were able to get through that.
You're so mature, girlfriend.
Oh, thanks, girlfriend. Yeah. Did you ever talk about attachment styles together?
I feel like we have in passing, but we didn't go too deep into it because I feel like just based on my diagnosis on him, I feel like he's anxious.
I feel like this is so interesting coming from or talking about the male side of attachment.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about this.
So anxious attachment style is an insecure attachment that, not that I feel like he's not insecure, so ignore that part, but it's an insecure attachment that involves a strong desire for closeness and intimacy paired with a fear of abandonment and rejection. So if I feel like it kind of plays a part on the push and pull effect, because I'm avoidant and he's anxious. So I avoid, he's anxious. So the more I'm avoiding, the more he pushes.
Oh, it was like a whole cycle.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, you never really talked about it much, but I guess just with time and with trust, it heals. Thanks for sharing about your relationship.
Of course.
So now with your friendships, you have your established group of friends, right? So how has your attachment styles manifested with them?
I hope it's not too noticeable that I'm avoidant with them. But I don't know. I feel like it's really interesting because I feel like I rely on my friends a lot, like emotionally, and I feel like as an avoidant person, that's not really, you know, but that's why I thought I was disorganized, which is, it's kind of really similar to the fearful avoidant, because it's like, it's confusing, you know, it's like, I do feel really anxious sometimes on how my friends feel about me, but at the same time, it's like the avoidant part of me is just like, oh, okay, like if you guys feel that way, but at the same time, I'm like, but guys, like, I love you. But I feel like it's more of a mental thing for me. It's confusing, but I do feel secure in my friendships, but you know, there's always that part of me, that anxious part of me that's just always like fearful, you know, always like thinking like, oh, like what if they feel this way, what if this and that, and then that's where I pull away a little bit, and then when I see my friends again, I'm just like, oh wait, that was all in my head, because that's not how it feels at all. And I feel like that's the same with how it is with my boyfriend. Like I feel like when I have too much time on my hands, I'm like, wait, do they feel this way about me, or I'm just, like I don't know if that has anything to do with my attachment style at all, or if just like anxiety that like normal people go through. But yeah.
Do you notice any habits or patterns in yourself when you get close to someone?
Oh, yes. I feel like I said earlier, I feel like I'm very dependent on my relationships. I feel like over time I've learned to be a little bit more independent. I've learned to know what to do with my free time. I have hobbies now, guys. Like, and when you have a job, you don't have a lot of free time on your hands. But I know in the past have made a habit of, once I'm very close with somebody, I tend to spend a lot of time with them, to the point where I don't have that own independence. You know what I mean?
Do you think it's shifted over time?
Honestly, I don't know about my childhood, but I know it has shifted from like how I was with my past relationship, like my romantic relationship with my ex. I feel like then I was very, very anxious, and I was more of the push and he was the pull. But with my boyfriend now, I'm more of the pull and he's more of the push. Like, don't get me wrong, I love him, but it's just how I am.
It's just how it is.
Yeah, it's just how it is.
So looking back at your relationships throughout your life, has there been anyone that stood out to you that's kind of softened your attachment style, or just kind of really worked with your attachment style?
I don't know if softened is the right word, but I feel like my boyfriend. I feel like our attachment styles combined just work. Even though, in the future, I would want us to be more secure and it would be more mature and healthy. But I feel like as of right now, it's like, it works. That's my man, that's my person. And it's just like, he's a push, I'm a pull. I don't know how he is with other people, but sometimes I wonder if he's more of a push because I'm pulling. And I feel like I pull because like I'm more avoidant because of things that's happened in our relationship, which there's been a lot of, 4 years is a long time. There's been arguments and issues and trust being broken. Not that he's cheated on me since the very beginning, or not that I've cheated on him, but it's just like there's been a lot of things that I don't really want to trauma dump on the pod, but there's been a lot of that, and hopefully in the past, once we've overcome that, then it will be different and it will be healthier. But guys, give us grace, we're only 21.
Literally, I was just gonna say, you guys are still so young. Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna move on, transitioning from that point. Since you have been in your relationship for quite a long time now, what are tips that you have for maintaining a healthy relationship, and how attachment styles play into maintaining healthy relationships?
I feel like it's really important to learn your partner's attachment style. Don't be like me, guys. Like, actually learn about it, because I kind of just diagnosed him. But it makes sense. It makes sense. It really does. I feel like as long as you know that person, it makes sense, right? But yeah, like based on that, you can build security and grow together. And as long as your love will always be there, as long as you're willing to have patience. And I feel like relationships are complicated, but knowing your attachment styles, you can grow from there.
Since you know yourself so much better now, how has knowing your attachment style influenced your relationship, and has it helped? And yeah, like, how has it played a role?
I feel like you can move towards secure attachment, like, as because right now I feel like my attachment isn't very healthy, and hopefully in the future, like I said, I'm able to be more secure. And so, well, yeah, anyways, you can move towards secure attachment with self-awareness, as long as you're self-aware, guys, and communication and consistent emotional safety in your relationship. But yeah.
And does that also apply to your friendships too?
Of course, yes. Yeah.
What's one thing you're working on now to feel more secure in your relationships? Since we are talking about how being self-aware is so important. So what's one thing what's a few things that you do?
I feel like it's important to use self-awareness to stay grounded and identify your triggers, which I'm still learning how to do, because I feel like even though I can see what my triggers are, it's so easy to just ignore them and push them aside. And then it's important to pause before reacting, which I'm also still learning how to do. And communicate. Communication is key. But
yeah, you hear that all the time, but it really is.
It really is. Yeah. Like, the more that you think about it, the more that you learn about certain things in your life, communication goes a long way.
So now we're going to end off the episode with some advice. I always love ending each episode with advice. So what would you tell someone who is just discovering their attachment style?
I feel like discovering your attachment style can feel like a wow moment, because it's like you don't, at least for me, I didn't really think about it too much, but it really does help explain so many things in your past relationships, even with your family or your parents and growing up. At times it can stir up big emotions or self-doubts, because you're like, oh wow, like I didn't know that's how it was. But treat it as like self-discovery, you know what I mean? I feel like journal, guys. Journal goes a long way, and journaling after you learn something new can actually help connect the dots between what you've read and what you've experienced, and self-reflecting. It's big, yeah.
Like, going off of that, I think it also helps because when you learn your attachment style and you learn that it has so much to do with how you were brought up, it can answer a lot of questions, like you said. Yeah, and it's not entirely your fault.
Yes.
I'm not saying that, your parents, everyone's parents are the problem, but it definitely does play a role. And you can kind of look back at your childhood and be like, well, yeah, it does kind of make sense now.
Yeah, and you can pinpoint, on like, oh, how it came to be.
Yeah. And then if you're comfortable, you can even, have a chat with your parents and just kind of sit down and talk, even have them talk about their past.
Yeah.
I know for Filipinos that might not be the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, it
honestly.
might not be an option, but
I can't even do that, to be honest. But yeah, if you guys are open, I think it's such a healthy practice to have with your...
For sure.
Yeah. And even with your friends, like, when you realize maybe I treated them this way because of this attachment style, you can talk about that with them and, have that eye-opening experience together. So yeah, really important, and that's really great advice. And then let's say someone is just entering a relationship and they are still navigating their attachment style, because I know that's kind of how it was like with you. You didn't really know your attachment style, and you had relationships really early in your life. So
yes,
knowing what you know now, what would you tell someone who is in that stage?
I feel like educate yourselves together. Even though I honestly haven't done that, maybe I should go home and talk to my boyfriend about attachment styles as well, so we can, self-reflect together. Isn't that a cute date? It's such a cute date. But I feel like educating yourselves together is such a big thing, and just be patient with the process, I feel like.
Would you say you're making good progress in attachment in your relationship?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I feel like it's something that's definitely gonna take time and a lot of patience, but hopefully in the next couple of years, when you guys hear from me again, I will be a secure attachment style.
Period. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. To end off the episode, me and Danielle did some research just now, and we're going to share with you guys some tips on maintaining healthy attachments to people.
Yes.
And this is also our first time seeing these tips, and these are actually really, really good. So we're taking these in as well as you guys.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so let's jump into it.
I feel like once you understand your attachment style, I guess the real goal isn't to get rid of it, but to develop secure behaviors and kind of maintain emotional balance over time. So I feel like that's something I definitely need to understand myself. But yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Don't get rid of it, but just embracing it and learning how to navigate life with it.
Okay.
So the next tip is building self-awareness first, right? So like I said, we talked about self-awareness a lot and how important it is, but when your attachment system gets triggered, you should ask yourself, like, what am I feeling and what is the reason why I'm feeling this way? Being able to label those emotions helps build self-awareness. So yeah, there we go. Building self-awareness.
The other one is learning how to regulate your emotions. Having grounding techniques or journaling and just overall self-reflecting, going for a walk. before sending that "are you mad at me" text, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the calmer your nervous system, the clearer your communication is.
So next is to practice clear and honest communication. So like we did say earlier, communication is so key. Before sending anything, just make sure that you think about what your words are, right? So expressing your needs without guilt or blaming the other person. So avoid saying things like, "Oh, you never text me, like do you even care?" Instead, just go with it with a more mature mindset, right? Being direct and being kind. That's going to be the best way to approach any sort of conflict.
Surrounding yourself with people that gives you that emotional safety helps a lot as well. If you're dating, choose partners who are able to communicate openly rather than triggering your fears and your anxiety. I just feel like emotional safety plays such a big part and allowing your nervous system to relax, which is where your secure attachment thrives. I feel like that's really important.
Balancing independence and connection. So this one I connect with because like I said, I'm a very independent person, but I also feel like connection, there needs to be a balance there, right? It's really interesting because secure people, they know that closeness and independence can coexist. I think that is so important. Yeah, so it's so important to know your own interests and your own me time, self-care, but also investing time in emotional intimacy with others. So your feelings and plans and your fears, and yeah, just maintaining that balance is so important.
Another big thing is practicing self-compassion, because guys, at the end of the day, I feel like we are the way that we are not because we chose to be it, you know what I mean? Obviously, eventually you're gonna have to learn how to deal with it maturely and in a healthy way, but everyone slips into anxious or avoidant moments sometimes, even securely attached people. And it's important not to shame yourself. Instead, remind yourself that healing is a process.
So yeah, that is a wrap for today's episode. Thank you, Danielle, for being here and for being so open and honest, and for
That was a
recording.
fun one.
Yeah, for recording with me for the second time as well.
I feel like this one we're a little bit more educated on what we're saying.
If I shared any misinformation or said anything wrong, I am so sorry. But
this is our unprofessional advice.
Yeah, unprofessional advice.
Take it as you will.
We're just girls. We're just 21-year-old girls. But yeah, again, thank you so much for being here and
Thank
for
you for
recording
having
with me
me
again. I had lots of fun and I'm very happy for you in your relationship, and I hope you guys last a long time. And I learned a lot about you and a lot about myself too.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you have any final words for the podcast, for the listeners?
Thank you guys for having me. This was so fun and it's so nice. We're basically like, this is like a self-reflecting date. I love it with my girlfriend.
Literally. And now you're gonna go home and do it with your boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just very grateful. Thank you so much, Sophie. This was so fun.
I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for listening and supporting, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.